Detroit Lions fans came into the year with high expectations, as we should. Our team has gotten progressively better over the past 3 seasons. We went from 1-6 to finish 9-8. We missed the playoff by a half game. We come out the next year in year 3 of a rebuild, and we go 12-5, and we almost go the distance, man. We get to a team that we should have beat. We would have faced a team we did beat earlier in the year with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that would have been a game. That would have been a game, man. I think that it would have been a much better matchup than the one that we saw with the 49ers. And I think that game went into double overtime or something crazy like that. But Lions fans went into the year with high expectations, and we should. Dan Campbell said, of course, the fan base should be mad because we came in the bar is set super high. So anything low, anything less than that, the fan base is going to feel some type of way. So now that the Lions have seem to have found their footing. It might have come too late, but we might have found their footing after beating the Dallas Cowboys, and we're on the home stretch. And Dan Campbell mentioned something about kind of taking the hard road to get into the playoffs because last year we lost a lot of people, and it wasn't easy. I mean, here it is that the last game of the season determined the 1 seed, which is at home throughout the playoffs, or starting on the road as the 5th seed, and most likely not hosting a home game. The Lions were 8-0 on the road last year, so maybe that should have happened. Maybe that's what it should have been. Maybe if we would have lost that game and we're number 5 and we play great on the road most of the time. So my question to you is, going into the last quarter of the season, home stretch, this is it. Has your opinion about the Detroit Lions, if they were to scrape by, get in the playoffs, because that's all you really need to do. We've seen that. We've been the 1st seed, nothing. We've been the 3rd seed, nothing. If they were to scrape by, right now the Lions are trending, there's a possibility they could get a higher seed. Honestly, at this point in the season, the 1 seed is still in play. It won't be in play after week 15. But right now, if the Lions won every game, the Rams lost every game, the Seattle Seahawks lost, then the 1 seed is in play. But if the Lions were the 7th seed, 6th seed is most likely. Like we're just scraping by. That means if we are the 7th seed, we are all the road teams. Meaning we're the road team all the way to the Super Bowl. We go against the 2nd seed on the road. Then we go to the 1st seed on the road. So we're looking at a crazy matchup scenario. How do you feel about the Lions? Are you starting to think Super Bowl again? Are you there yet? I'm not there yet, but I tell you what, beating the Rams would really, really give me a lot of encouragement about where the Lions could go. But again, the Lions would be every team, they would be the road team, and they would have to be on the road all the way to the Super Bowl. If the season was to end right now, here's what it would look like. The Rams are the number 1 seed, so they would get the bye week. The Packers, the number 2 seed. So the Eagles would be number 3. The Buccaneers, they went back. I like this logo, but I hate these colors. But this logo to me is sick. I like it. Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers. I said this at the beginning of the season. One of these 4 teams will not be in the playoffs. Bears, Packers, 49ers, or Lions. There's a way that the Eagles could fall out. So, it's funny how things change. But the Lions would scrape by, get in the 7th seed. This would be the lowest seed that we've ever had under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. We would have had the 7th seed in 2022 had the Rams beat the Seahawks and we scraped by. And I think that I don't think we would have won a Super Bowl that year, but I think we would have at least taken out one. The way the Lions were playing, they were 8-2 over the last 10 games. The defense was playing lights out. I mean, we probably would have upset that 2nd seed. I can't remember who it was that year, but we probably would have upset them, right? So if the Lions were to scrape in and the playoffs ended right now, or either way, they're going to have to face the number 2 seed. We would have to go to Lambeau, start at Lambeau. Packers swept us, traded for Micah Parsons. We would have to get our get back. Then in the 2nd round, we would go to the LA Rams. This is all before the NFC Championship game. Like you're talking about, and I'm going to tell you what, if they were to do that, This reminds me of that Giants team in the 2000s when they just made it into the playoffs, ran the table. Are you more right now before the Rams game? How do you feel? Lions are 8-5, have they tied a NFL record of most wins after a loss at 15. If they lose against the Rams and they beat the Steelers, they will own the NFL record, a new NFL record. So how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you think right now at 8-5, before facing the Rams, have you begun to think, hey, you know what? If we slide into the playoffs, we got a real chance. We got a real chance. Or are you kind of like, yeah, even if we do that, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I'm going to be real. Anybody in the playoffs has a chance, 100%. We've seen stranger things happen. I don't know. If there's any team that could do it, it would be our team with our coach and our mentality. And that's what grit could do. Grit could just power you all the way through. It really could. Like, yo, you've got, a gauntlet. You've got to beat a team that swept you this year in the wild card round. Then you got to go to a team that you faced in week 15 and beat them at their house. Then that's all before the NFC Championship game. And it could be a rematch of the San Francisco 49ers. Like, the possibilities are crazy. But right now, sitting at 8-5, how are you feeling when it comes to the Detroit Lions Super Bowl chances? Are you starting to get that, hey, you know what? We get in, we could do this thing. Or do you still need to see a little bit more? I'm going to tell you what. Right now, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. And it's going to be hard for me to change the way I feel because I'm standing on the heel of sacking the quarterback. It's going to come down to that. In 2023, we needed to get to Brock Purdy. We couldn't. Is AQM him? Can we have Davenport do something, right? Can the Detroit Lions get somebody off a practice squad that wants to make a name for themselves? Is it possible? It's possible. But I think it's going to come down to that. Every team is injured, and we're battling injuries this year. We lost our starting strong safety. We lost our starting cornerback. We're playing with dudes off the couch, right? But if we beat the Rams and we can somehow get to the quarterback on a consistent basis, I probably maybe would change my tune at that point. And remember, when you get into playoffs, you're playing the best of the best. You're playing the best 6 teams in your division or in the conference. And if the Lions squeak by in the playoffs and they just get there, not only will they never host a game at Ford Field, ever. It's impossible. They won't. That round, the next round, and the round after that, we will never, ever have a game at Ford Field, which might be a good thing. They also are playing the best teams. And it's very rare that a 7 seed upsets a 2 seed. We did see it happen, though. The Green Bay Packers went into Dallas and beat Dallas in 2023 when Dallas was the 2nd seed. We were 3, Dallas was 2, San Francisco was 1. Now, I'm not a superstitious guy, but I am a pattern guy. I am a numbers guy. I'm a data guy, right? So I will say that if the Lions can somehow get in that 3 seed, I feel like now we could have a conversation. Because that year in 2023, the Lions and Chiefs were both the 3rd seed. I think they had the same record at 12-5, and they should have met in the Super Bowl. So I'm one of those guys, like pattern, data, numbers. So have your thoughts about the Lions Super Bowl changed before the Rams game, or would it take a Rams win to get you back on the Super Bowl train? Because I am a believer that if you get in, that anything can happen, but statistically, it doesn't. If the Lions are the 7th seed, it's very rare that a 7th seed goes all the way and wins the Super Bowl. However, I will say this. For me, would I be devastated if we did that and we made the Super Bowl and lost? Absolutely. But would I be able to walk around and say we made it? And, that would be great too. That would be great. Of course, winning the whole thing is what you want to do, and that's the ultimate goal. But leaving that 4 teams of never being to a Super Bowl and the only NFC team to never be to a Super Bowl and the oldest team in the NFL to never go to a Super Bowl, we can at least get rid of that. So let me know your thoughts, man. I'm not there yet, but winning against the Rams could go a long way to make that happen.